Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today I threw on a t-shirt, shorts, a green hat, and sandals. We're gonna go out on a walk in here. It should be pretty dry, it shouldn't be muddy today. I actually got a nice video. It is 70 degrees exactly, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, so today I've had a really good day so far. I really enjoyed it so far. It's been pretty good. Well, anyway, I'm just hiking, doing my thing. I actually am going to talk about stuff. So let's get started with the video. So basically, in this video, I'm going to be talking about basically all kinds of good stuff. So, and here's what it is. So basically, I basically have been thinking about this, and I wanted to discuss it with everybody. It's not important, but it is something cool. So I'm gonna actually try to do Sweetie's perspective on videos for a while. But yeah, I'm gonna do that and do this voice. Since this video is out now when it's on YouTube, basically the first video is already out. Hope you guys have enjoyed that video. But during the making of this video, it is not out yet. But when this is out, that will obviously be out too. So, yeah. But it's a concept of how Sweetie sees her life through her eyes. So, when she's looking at something, I have a pretend voice of what she would say, and basically, well, according to the video that you saw, that's what it's about. Well, I wanted to do this because I don't know, I just think it's a cool idea to show you her life through her eyes. I know that sounds very impossible, but you know what impossible spells? I'm possible. So impossible spells I'm possible. So basically, I'm going to do the impossible because I am possible. And yeah, so we're going to do it. We're going to make... And let me know in the comments down below if you want long videos or short videos of it. I think I'll do medium. I think I'll be like in the middle somewhere with them. So, yeah. A while back on Creeple and Slayer, I had ideas of making like, well, it was basically practically a short film of basically our lives. So separate little movies on our lives, basically video compilations into one video, like all videos combined together to make one compilation, which I was gonna call AKA a movie. Well, I sat there and this new concept came yesterday. I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Why don't I sit there and actually show people what it would be like if Sweetie had a human voice and what it would be like through her eyes. So what she sees on the daily, so like the trees, the sky, all of it, right? What she sees on a daily basis. The squirrels, the birds, the deers, the chipmunks, all that stuff, right? Yes, well, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about that. And now that I think of it, I wish I did it with my other animals before they died, when they were alive. So like Tinyfoot's perspective of life and Oswin's perspective of life. And basically all that stuff, you know? Like, that's what I'm trying to say here is, I also want to do it with people too. Not just my pets and animals, but like I want to do it with people too. How they perceive their life, you know? And it's very fascinating to me because how other people see their life through their eyes is very interesting to me. Because like my mom tells me these awesome stories all the time about her life and what she's done. Seeing Bob Marley from a rooftop to meeting George Michael and his sister. Like, that's just cool stuff. You know, and I just, you know, and especially do it with Dad. See his life through his eyes. At first I thought it was a woodpecker, but it's actually the bark of the tree creaking. But anyway, moving on. Pretty cool, but moving on. Basically, just embrace it all, you know? Like, Dad doesn't really talk about his life at all, okay? I didn't ever think I'd mention this stuff, but, you know, why not? Maybe I should, you know? Because it is important about everybody's life story. In my opinion, should be. Everybody's story is important. Where they came from, how they see other people, stuff like that. Their life experiences are definitely different from my own. Because just because I rode bikes, rode scooters at 8 years old, that doesn't mean my dad did it at 8. You know what I mean? And yeah, but basically, seeing life through their eyes is interesting to me. Like, not only that, though, like, I've been thinking about, like, it's gonna sound really dumb, but it's not, if you think about it logically. Take a picture of a memory, right? So, like, I was thinking about doing videos on this, and it's related to, and it falls into the category of basically what I've been talking about, seeing life through other people's eyes, right? And basically, sitting there and taking a picture, preferably not digitally on phone, but that could work too. But I mean, a printed out picture that was taken from an Insta Snap, basically one of those Insta Snap cameras that just printed off. I know that sounds old, but just print it off as soon as you snap the picture, right? Let it develop for a couple seconds, and then that type of style of printing out picture, right? You record the picture. Well, not necessarily record it, but like, or maybe you take a picture of that picture, if that makes sense, and talk about it, you know? But well, I guess I could talk about it. So let's say I got a picture of Dad when he was 3 years old, you know? And I talked about it, because he would have told, this is how it would go. He would have told me the story about it, of how that picture went. Sorry if you can't hear me that well. It is windy, but very beautiful. And he would basically explain the picture to me, you know? And that's also how it falls into seeing it through their eyes. Because when some people look at a picture of another person, they go, oh, that's a cool moment, you know? Or, oh, that's a cute moment. Like two cats playing with a ball of yarn, you know? They think, oh, that's a cute moment, it's a cool moment, you know? You encapsulated that moment, that's really cool. But you explain about the picture and do videos of it and stuff like that. Like, that's what I'm trying to say here, basically. And basically, I'm not going to lie to anybody. I generally am curious about the background of these pictures that people have taken of my mom, my dad, my nanny, my papa, stuff like that. And I'll even do it with my pictures, like explain the story behind that picture, you know? Or I'll give you another example, right? So that's one concept for seeing life through their eyes, right? Doing videos of that, but not just that, but like Dad not talking at all, doing actions. Like, you know how they do those ads where they go, I'm Calvin, I'm 55 years old, and, you know, they talk about their life, right? But they're not talking, unless if maybe it's at the end. Like, it's an advertisement, but it's not an advertisement, it's describing their life through what they've seen and thought and felt, you know? So, like, I'm gonna do this, actually. I'm gonna do it of me, Mom, Dad, Nanny, Papa, if they let me, which I hope they do. Record them just doing basic stuff. And describe in one sentence how they see their life through their eyes. So, like, I'll take, like, a still shot of Dad working on the car with no context, no words. What I'm trying to say, no words being said, except for a background voice saying how his life is in his voice, or maybe my voice. Like, hello, my name is Clarence, I'm 50-some years old, and, like, I work on cars. You know, stuff like that. You know, and describe his life through his eyes, how he perceives it. I have a wife and kids, and stuff like that. I mean, like a wife and a kid, you know? Like, you know what I mean? Like how they do in the advertisements that you see on TV all the time. My name's Calvin, and I'm 55 years old. You know, basically that type of stuff, you know? And, by the way, I have to point out, I look like Finn from Adventure Time, minus the beard and the hat, but the clothes are on point. So, anyway, back to the concept. I'm just thinking out loud here, you know, because I might even do Hannah, I don't know. Her playing her video game. My name's Hannah, and I know she don't sound like this, but my name's Hannah, and I'm 21 years old, and I have a dog named Riley, and I have a dog named Sweetie. you know, and stuff like that in her girl voice. But I record her saying what her life's like, but she's not saying anything in the video. Like, her mouth's not moving and saying all this stuff. So she's doing an action, but her voice is in there without her actually saying it. You know what I mean? Like how they're doing those advertisements, like I keep mentioning for the 9th billionth time. 9 billion time. Billionth time. Yeah, so anyway. Yeah, so not bad. But yeah, that's the concept. That's what I wanted to discuss today, because it's been on my mind since last night. I had a dream about making this video and talking about it, and I was like, you know what? Let's actually go for it. You know what I mean? Like, let's actually do it. Let's actually sit there and make this video. And actually talk about my idea behind the concept of seeing people's lives through their eyes. But basically, that's the concept. I mean, I don't know if anyone wants to sit there and actually go through with my concept. But at least I could do it with my parents, like record Dad working on the car, and without him saying anything, have his voice in the video being like, I'm Clarence, I'm 50 some years old, and I work on cars, I love my son and I love my wife, you know, like stuff like that. And this is how I see my life through my eyes, you know. I get up every morning, I see my beautiful wife as I'm sleeping next to her. I wake up to see my son. He's awesome. He plays video games and he does YouTube on his YouTube channel. And stuff like that, you know what I mean? But he's actually not saying it. Like, you don't see his mouthing it. Does that make sense? Like, it's like, you ever seen one of those movies where, I'm not trying to be morbid here, but you ever seen one of those movies where someone died and you hear them from heaven and you can hear them like, hey Johnny, be safe out there, Johnny. And it's like a voice in the wind type of deal. But you know they're dead, but you can still hear their voice because they're, well, in heaven, they're still looking out for you and making sure that you're okay and safe, right? Well, it's like that concept, but with the same person, not a different person, you know? And I guess I thought about this once or twice, maybe in the past, but I never went through with the idea with it. And I never thought about talking about it in a video. So I was like, you know what? Let's actually talk about it in a video this time. Let's actually sit there and talk about it. Because, in all honesty, and honestly to God, like, honestly think that the best thing about those type of videos is just picturing in your mind. So picture this in your mind, picturing the fact that that's how they lived and that's how they perceived their life through their eyes. Like, they do it in movies all the time with, like, our pets, like cats and dogs, how they see our lives. Like, they did it in Goldbergs. So, like, the TV show, The Goldbergs, right? Adam Goldberg, you got the narrator narrating, basically, Dad, Mom, Hannah would be narrating themselves about their lives. That's what I'm trying to get at. They would be basically doing the narration of their lives, how they perceive their lives through their eyes and how they see things every day. Or, as the case may be, things and celebrations and past experiences and birthdays in the past. You know? Stuff like that. And I really honestly want to sit there and do this for real though. Like for real. Because in all honesty, I just think that it would be a good idea. Because I always talk about me, right? Like 90, maybe even 99.8 or 9% of the time, I talk about me. Maybe 90% of the time. Maybe 91. I don't know. However much. I know it's just very up there in percentage. Point being though, I always talk about myself. Because, yeah, granted, I have videos of me, my Uncle Ray, my nanny, my papa, my dad, my mom, and of course, every day I make a video of Sweetie, right? Well, what if I told you that I was going to sit there and actually sit there and do more videos of them instead of me? What would you say on that? And if you have any thoughts on this, please do not hesitate to comment down below. Because I really want everyone's opinion on this idea. Like, do you think I should go for it, or do you think I should just sit there and just, oh, there's a baby butterfly. And just sit there and, yeah. You know what to do. Comment below and see what we come up with. And if anyone wants to add to this concept, feel free to either pin your comment or just comment below about it, because why not do this? Because it sounds really cool to me, you know? And I'm not saying have big props. We can have props, like homemade props, to demonstrate. And I'm not talking about making things out of paper and being like, oh yeah, that's a prop, like paper mache, like nothing like that. I mean real materialistic props, so it can help us describe our life through our eyes better. Like have you ever seen someone hold, like a woman hold a piece of jewelry? Like I knew this one woman. She sat there and she was on TV before, and as soon as she was holding this pearl necklace, she immediately started talking about her grandmother. Basically started talking about her. And anytime she goes into a jewelry store, like a jewelry shop, she sits there like it reminds them of people. Like, we all have items, I'm pretty sure, that remind us of people. But not just that. She sat there, but to finish up what I was saying about her, she sat there and started telling this group, whoever they were, I don't know who they were, but telling them a story about her grandmother, because it sparked a story. Because I think all items that have not just monetary value, but like the ones that sit there and actually have like value to our hearts and stuff like that, those are the things that spark the stories. Now, not everything has a story. It doesn't have to anyway. I know they probably do, but not all the stories are explained. And not only that, but they are basically, they are trying to find the right word. Well, they're told. These stories are somewhat told, but some of them are not always told. You know? And yeah, so we can sit there and we can talk about it. Like me, for example, right? When my mom got me a shark tooth necklace when I was 13 years old. And when I wore it to school, that has value to my life. Not the fact that it cost $8, but the fact that, or $7, however much it was. $6, however much. And I wore it all through school. Why? Because it had value to my life. It had value. And when I say value, I just want to claim very heavily that the money for that shark tooth necklace was never important in the first place. It was about the fact that I wore the necklace and that my mom gave it to me. So, yeah. But anyway, I thought you guys might enjoy this. I don't know. Like, I see videos on YouTube all the time. Like, story time with my grandpa. You know? Like, that's okay to do. Like, I actually did that before. With my papa, he would do Navy stories. And I still got tons more to do with him for Navy stories. Which, by the way, this relates into this concept. It is actually something more I'm going to make more of, hopefully. That's if he comes over more often. Which I hope he does. As well as my nanny, I hope she comes over more often too. But, or, we have a landline phone, right? I wouldn't mind sitting there and politely asking my Auntie Pat, or my Uncle Mick, because I wouldn't mind him doing it too, propping my phone on the table and letting her explain her life through her eyes and tell her stories, or a story. Same with my Uncle Mick, you know. Tell me his life through his eyes and tell me his stories, or just a story that he's got. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Catch you guys later. And I'm going to end this video. I'm sweating a lot and I'm going to go in to get a drink. Creep out.